today we're going to be looking at level 3 crochet grids, or a level 3 crochet grid. The Pinterest board linked below, the same how I did with levels 1 and 2. If you have not seen level 1 and 2, I definitely recommend that you check those out first, especially if you're a beginner to these crochet grids. This one is a little more fast paced. So definitely check out levels 1 and 2 so that you have a much easier time following this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to see more content like this. And let's just get right into it. This is going to be the pattern that we're going to follow today. This is going to be our level 3 crochet grid. I'm going to make it this size just so it's really easy to see all the stitches. I just wanted to show you too, if you make it with embroidery floss, they come out really pretty as coasters. So you could definitely do that. With actual size 10 crochet thread, they come out a little smaller, as you can see. They're just like a little bit smaller. Anyways, so we're going to make it today with our worsted weight cotton, 4-weight cotton. We're going to go ahead and work through this grid together. So we're using our 4-weight worsted weight cotton yarn, and I'm using my 5mm hook. You're also welcome to go check out my Pinterest board, and I'll go ahead and link this exact pin and then the board with all the other level 3 crochet grids. So with this one, we are going to start with chaining 9. That's going to be our substitute for a magic ring, or not even a substitute for a magic ring. Sometimes I think that chaining works better. For some of these, if you want to keep the center ring open and don't want to have any chance of it closing, it's kind of a good way to do it. I'm just chaining 9 here. My chain of 9. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch that together. Next thing we need to do is put 24 single crochets into this ring. And I'm also going to crochet over my yarn tail, try to cover it a bit. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be 24 single crochets into this ring. Once I fill up about halfway, I'm going to push them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 so far. So I have halfway done. I have done half of them. So I'm going to push this so I know that I have enough room for the rest of my single crochets. 1, 2, and I'm just going to count to 12 again to make 24. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm just going to push these kind of back a little bit. I think I pushed them too far. I'm just going to spread them out over my circle. So it looks pretty so far, and I've crocheted over most of my tail there. So I can probably just cut that off after a couple more rounds and not have to deal with weaving in that end. So I just have the one end to weave at the end. So right now I'm going to find the top of my first single crochet and slip stitch, and that's going to finish that round. We're going to then do some double crochets with chain 3s in between, and we are going to be skipping every other stitch. So to start, we're going to start with a chain of 3. That's going to count for our first double crochet. Then we're going to need a chain of 3 again. So really you're starting with a chain of 6. I'm going to skip a stitch. I'm going to go into the next stitch, double crochet, and then we'll go ahead and chain 3, and then we'll double crochet, skipping a stitch. I'm going to start to get this sort of thing going. 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch, and It's looking cute. I'm going to repeat that and go all the way around. Yeah, I don't have anywhere else to go. I should have 12 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wonderful. And then I still did my last chain of 3, and I can slip stitch. We're going to count from here. 1, 2, 3, and that's where I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, which counted as our first double crochet. Doing that, I'm still left with the chain 3 here in between. And I think I will go ahead and just cut this. It's so distracting. Show you the difference. If you do it with a regular magic ring that you tighten, it gets much smaller there, which is fine. We're just going to slip stitch our way into that space, chain 1, and now I'm ready. I can do a single crochet, chain 1, 2, 3, go into my next space, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, and that's kind of how it should look. We'll continue to go all the way around, single crochets into the spaces, and then chain 3 in between. And we need to do one more chain 3, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of our first single crochet, and that's the end of that round. So the first one's going to be a double crochet, and I'm just going to do it with a chain of 1, 2, 3. That's my first double crochet, and then in the spaces we need 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Those are those spaces we just made in the last round, and eventually it's just going to look like it's kind of connected. Have 1 double crochet on the top of our single crochets from the last round, and then 3 in those spaces. So let's do a double crochet, and it gets kind of weird, honestly. You could put your hook there, you could put your hook there. It doesn't make much of a difference. I like to kind of put it in the front. Let me zoom on in so you can really see here. But I like to put mine in the front of the double crochet or the single crochet instead of the top, which would be there. I normally put it here though. Yeah, there we go. And I feel like that just kind of makes it look a little bit more uniform. You could just go into the regular spot right there instead of right there. Let's continue. I'm going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put it in there. 1. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that all the way around. Okay, we went around the circle, and let's just zoom in a little bit. First chain 3 was my first double crochet on top of this one, so I have nowhere left to go, so that means I'm going to slip stitch now. Okay, just kind of like push that all together, blend it in. We're on to the next round. This one's really fun. I like this round. So we have these double crochet 3 together, and then and no skipping stitches or anything, and then in between that there's chain of 7. So for the first one, just go ahead and chain 1 in that same stitch, which is in going back in to the top of my chain 3. That's just a single crochet, yeah. Now we're gonna yarn over And we're going to go into the next stitch, which is right here, and it looks like kind of weird because it's connected to that chain 3, but don't miss it. Goes in there, and go like you're doing a double crochet, but don't finish it. Now you got 2 loops. Yarn over one more time, pull through 2 and stop. So it looks like you have these like 2 or 3 little single crochets and then like these 3 little loops. Then we're gonna yarn over and pull through all 3. That's just for the first double crochet 3 together. It's easier after that. Okay, let's chain our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to go into the next 3 stitches. So we just did these 3. Okay. And then now we're going to do into these 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2 and stop. Okay, so now you have 2 loops on your hook this time. This is how it's going to look like for the rest of the time. Yarn over again, go like you're making a double crochet again and stop. And if we like zoom back in, you can see it looks again like these like little single crochets. Okay, cool. We just have the extra loop now. Yarn over, and let's do one more so that we have 3. We're double crocheting 3 together, and then I'm gonna yarn over and pull through these 4 loops. That is how you double crochet 3 together, and we're gonna repeat that process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're gonna double crochet 3 together and chain 7 and going all the way around. Yarn over and pull through 2, should have 2 loops, and yep, very fun to do. I love double crocheting 3 together. It's very satisfying for some reason. So I'm just going to keep on going around. And it's starting to do this cute little loop situation. And after this, we only have 2 more rows. So I'm just going to quickly go around and I'll meet you at the end to slip stitch. Okay, we've arrived at the end of this round, and as you can see, we have nowhere else to go. That was my last stitch into there, that one's to that one. And I'm going to slip stitch into that chain right there, right in here. And so I should have those loops on my hook. So we're looking at it right there. Okay, and then we are going to pull through a slip stitch. That's the end of the round. Wonderful. Go now into the second to last round. It's going to be a bunch of double crochets with chain 2s in between. And we have a set of 5 of those in every other loop. And then in the ones in between, it's just a single crochet. Start with the clusters of 5 in our first one. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch my way into that space, chain 1, and I'm going to chain a total of 3 actually to count as my first double crochet. Then I'll need to chain 2 more because that's how many we're chaining in between each double crochet. So it's a total of 5. I'm going to yarn over for the first double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Let's look at this. So far we have basically 1, 2, 3 double crochets. We need a total of 5 in the cluster, so I need to do this twice more. And now I have 5 in there, and then I want to get over here, but it wants chain 2s in between that, so I chain just 2 after that double crochet, In this space, I'm just going to make a single crochet. That's the only thing going in there. Chain 2, and now I can start my cluster of 5 again. So yarn over, there I did my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with chain 2s in between. Next space I need a single crochet, but don't forget chain 2s. So chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, and we're back to doing our double crochets with chain 2 in between. And that's just going to happen all the way around. Just want to show you also how it's supposed to look so far. It's kind of making these petals now. You can see where it dips down at the single crochets. Okay, so we have our last chain 2 here. I need to do my single crochet in the last space, chain 2. Now we're at the last chain 2. Okay, so I need to count up. Let's zoom in. 1, 2, 3. It's going to slip stitch right there. And that finishes up the round. It's looking really good. Now we have one more round to do, and that is going to be single crochets with chain 4 in between, and we're just going to single crochet into every single space except for when we get to where we had done our single crochets. We're just going to do single crochet right next to it with no chaining or anything in between. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to slip stitch into this space to just get ourselves in there, chain 1, and then single crochet into that space. Now we can chain 1, 2, 3, 4, go into the next space, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, next space, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do it in this space, and once we get here, we're just going to single crochet one right next to the other. So in here, I'm single crocheting 1, 2, 3, 4 again, but I'm not going to chain after this single crochet. Are doing a single crochet here, a single crochet here, and now we can go back to doing our chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the next space, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet, repeating this. And you're repeating it all the way until you get to that next single crochet that's by itself in the space again. 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in the next space, and then single crochet in the next space. And then now I can go back to chaining 4 and doing a single crochet into each space. I'm going to do this all the way around and we are done. The only thing that's left to do would be to fasten off and weave in our end, because we only have one end to weave in with this pattern, so long as we are only using one color. Just keep going and I will meet you at the end to slip stitch. So we're at the end here, last chain 4, and I'm gonna just slip stitch to the top of that first single crochet that we did, and that is how you end it. And that is literally it. We finished our doily. It's so pretty and big, as you can see. You could definitely fit your teapot on there, or put a decoration, a candle, whatever the case may be. These are really fun also to do like multicolor, but weaving in the ends gets a little tough there, so let's just go ahead and weave in our ends on camera, or our one end in. Just going to give myself enough yarn. Chain one and pull through all the way and tighten that. And that's good to go there. Tapestry needle. We're going to put that through, flip it over, so we're doing weaving our end on the back. And what I'm going to try to do is weave down here and through here, or maybe like this. I'm trying to get into one of these clusters or this area where I can actually weave my end in back and forth 3 times to secure it, because this is all too skinny. So I'm going to just weave my end down to a thicker area. And again, I'm doing this on the back of the doily, and I'm just going under whichever loops that I can. I don't even mind if I'm splitting my yarn. I'm going to go this way, just grabbing any loops that I can. And I'm just going to maybe grab this loop right here and go down that way. Like I said, I don't mind splitting my yarn. It's not a big deal, especially just weaving in ends. And now I've made it to this area here where I have a lot of room to weave my end back and forth. So I'm only going to go down to this area, this like triangle situation. And now I'm going to weave my yarn back and forth. So I'm going to go out this way. And we're going to do, and I'm going over this loop here so it stays put. I'm going to do one pass. And then I'm going to skip over this loop and do another pass. And one more for good luck. Skipping over a loop and then going back through all the loops. That should be secure enough. If you want to make this even more secure, you can go ahead and take this yarn, take your needle, and just like split the yarn down the middle. And kind of pull it apart. Actually, let's zoom back in for this. And we're just going to thread one of these two into our needle. I'm going to go over a loop, kind of going around this way. Get that focus back in. And push that through. Now I can tie a knot, regular old knot. 1, 2. You can even do a third one for extra security. And that's not going anywhere. We're going to cut as close as we can to the knot, but not cutting the knot itself. Kind of press that, and you're good. Size, I absolutely love them. And it's really beautiful and floppy, as it should be. Love this pattern. I've made this pattern so many times. If you are interested in some finished doilies, I have them available on my shop on Tedoo. I'll link that below. I will also go ahead and link this specific one if you want to buy the one that we created in this exact video. I'm going to put this one up for sale. Hope you like this video. I hope you guys had a good time crocheting this doily and you don't feel as intimidated by crochet grids and feel like you can try a bunch of different ones. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!